Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Again, welcome. Thanks for joining our checklist class. I was watching the poll a little bit, and it looks like most of you, or we have more of a majority that don't use checklists, which is great. Or if you are using checklists, you aren't necessarily using templates. So I'm really glad you're here. A few things before we get started. I see some questions coming in through the chat already. If you guys could direct your questions to the Q&A box instead of the chat, that would be fantastic. I have a whole team with me here, and they're going to be answering those, and it's just a lot easier in the Q&A box. So please do that if possible. We're going to leave that chat open for us to share some links out if needed or any other resources. So again, I have a whole team here today. We've got lots from support. We have some account managers here, and we have a whole marketing team making this happen. So they're excited to be here and be available for you. And of course, this is being recorded. So we will send it to you within about 24 hours. That will be in your inbox. So if your whole team couldn't make it today or you want to refer to it later, you will get the recording. So that is good news. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the agenda. So I'm going to talk to you guys about what our checklists are. I'm going to show you a mature checklist, one that's built out. And then, of course, I'll show you, if you're just getting started, how you can create one from scratch. These checklists, we can export them as a PDF so you can share them with a customer or maybe somebody back in the office that isn't on your CompanyCam account. We can assign these checklists to users. We are also going to talk about collaborators and what that looks like with them using a checklist. How to create a checklist template. So our templates are on our premium plan. And then we're also going to talk about the project template. So how we can completely streamline when you create a project to have that checklist pulled in there right away, which is an amazing thing. And then last but not least, we will talk about our community checklists, which is our library of checklists that we've asked our partners to help create of what they're doing. So I'll even start with one of those today is one of our community checklists. So all right, I'm going to go ahead and you guys can see my screen okay. I'm sharing my mobile device here on the left-hand side and on the desktop here on the right. Checklists you can use on both. So again, what is a checklist? It's that digital to-do list for you. So if you have like a piece of paper where you're writing down things that you need to do on the job site, what photos you're supposed to be taking, we can put that into CompanyCam. A lot of my customers are using this for their sales process, their inspection lists. That's one I'm going to click into right now. But just being able to make sure you all are on the same page from crews to office, no photos are being missed. And just standardize that process for you. Again, by being able to template this and save it, we can bring this checklist into every single job. So just a little bit of value there on how people are using it. I'll hopefully share some more examples throughout the class here. But I wanted to start off, I'm in my CompanyCam account here. I'm in a project and I'm actually in a checklist. So I'm just going to back up one here. So I'm in my re-roof project. So again, if you haven't seen checklists to get started, it's going to be one of these tabs here. It just says checklists. So I have the number 29 because I have quite a few within this account. You can have quite a few within your project. So I just clicked on checklists, and then I'm just going to show you one that's already built out, that's already pretty mature for you here. I'm just going to walk you through really what you're looking at. So again, this is my storm damage inspection checklist. And this is a pretty basic one for me. I would bring it into every single job. I have the title up here. So when you guys create a checklist, which I'll also start from scratch, you give it a title. So my inspection list here, and then underneath that, I have a field. So the field is the action. Which what you see this rate the level of storm damage, that's a field. So on the mobile side here, you can see as I scroll, I have a few that are already checked off. So the best part about a checklist is your team can interact with it. They can check things off. They can submit photos with it. As you can see, you can answer questions. So if I scroll up here, I have a rating scale here where you can answer 1 through 5. lots of different things you can do, but these are completely interactive with your team. And I'm just scrolling through on the mobile side here as if I'm working through the job. I can go through and submit photos. So a couple other things here just to point out, if we're looking at this for the first time, you have fields and you have sections. So this is my section here where it says elevations. And then if I scroll down a little bit farther, it does change. So it's kind of like your page header. So you can kind of section these out for you. And then again, have that field underneath, which is the action you want them to do. Take photos of all the downspouts. That's my field right here. So to kind of show you how this works, like how do I actually take photos and attach it to one of these fields? So we have this camera button, which is great. So again, you can open your project, go to the checklist and start taking photos. Those photos are going to live with the field and it will also live in your normal like project photo feed as well. They'll be in both spots. So extra communication, you know what's going on. So if I want to take a photo of the right here, I just simply click that camera icon. It's going to say take photos, add photos from project or add photos from device, which is fantastic. As your team is starting to adopt the checklist, if they forget to maybe do it through the checklist, they can always go back and add that photo from the project and check it off. But ideally, we want you guys to take these photos right when you're in the checklist. So I'm going to hit take photos. It's just going to take you to your normal CompanyCam camera. I'm going to take a couple photos here. We're in our office. Again, you have the ability to tag photos like normal. This is just looking like your normal CompanyCam camera. The only thing that's changing is that that photo is going to live with that field, which is great. So then I can answer any questions that are along with this checklist and I can check it off and move to the next one. A few things to point out here. So it does say photos required. So when we're building these out, you can make that a requirement. So of course we can uncheck that. If that isn't a requirement, I could easily check off this task and it would be just fine. But you'll see as I'm trying to check off this take photo of the corner here, it's drawing an error message because I didn't submit a photo. So you guys do have a little bit of extra protection there from for your team to know we need to take a photo of this before we check it off. So again, just simply click that camera icon, take photos. It'll take you here. And this is just going to be photos for right now. And they will live with that field and then I can go and check it off. Okay, so that's kind of like what a mature checklist looks like here. I'm going to walk you through quickly on just if you're creating one from scratch, just what that looks like here. So I just backed up. I'm in my re-roof project again. I'm still under that checklist tab. So you see this blue button that says create checklist. On the mobile side, it will be here, checklist. I'm going to hit create. And then we have new checklist. It's going to ask for that title. So let's just do Sarah's list. I'm going to hit create. And then this is what it looks like. So again, we can build these completely from scratch. I'm also going to show you our community checklist where you can start from a template, which is pretty cool. And then again, we have our sections and our fields. So I can have my section here. I can fill that out. And then underneath that, I will have the field. So the action. So let's do take photos of door. Few things to point out here for the first time. Again, I already mentioned this, the photos required, so you can uncheck that if you need to. Right next to that, it says add reference images. So these are fantastic for if you want to have them refer to really what you're talking about here. I have this on my other checklist. I can simply click on it and view what I was talking about. So if you click on that button that says add reference images, it just says upload from here. It will take you to your downloads in your computer. And then you can upload those into that field. And then of course, if you created a field, you don't like it, you can easily just delete that with that little trash can icon. Okay. I'm going to hit this edit button again. I wasn't quite done with that. Just a few other things here. You can add more notes to describe what you want them to do with this. And then underneath that, we have the plus question button. So that's what you saw here on the mobile side. Let's see here. This one here is the rating scale, but we have quite a few options for you. So it could be a yes or no question. We can also do that rating scale that you see over here. So maybe rate the damage, for example. Another question can be is to ask for a text response. This one is very popular. So when you're out in the field, you can pull up your keyboard and answer what that might be. And then last, we have multiple choice. So this is where you can have your options. So option 1, option 2, you get the idea here. So when you're creating the fields, it's more than just, maybe writing a statement and checking it off. You can have them answer questions to make it even more clear of what's going on. Okay, I'll take a pause. Any questions so far about our checklist and how we create them, or maybe what a mature checklist looks like? Okay, great, perfect. So moving on, just some other things here with the checklist. We have the ability to assign a checklist to a user. So we're going to do this from the desktop side. I'm just going to go back to my checklist here, go back to our storm damage one. So if you would like to assign a user, this is fantastic because it does draw a notification to them. So they can simply just go click on the notification and it will take them to the checklist. So to assign that checklist, you're going to see it up here at the top. So you'll see I already have Emily Neeson assigned to this. And then next to that is that icon with the plus button. We can just type in a name. So I'm going to type in my name here. I assigned it, and you'll see here on the mobile, it came through on my notifications where you can click on that and it will take you directly to that checklist. So again, just a little extra step, which is nice to have. A lot of my office admin are going in and assigning users to the checklist if needed. If I exit out of my project here and go down to my notifications here, if I click on that, I'll see all my notifications and I'll see that I was assigned to a checklist. I can simply click on it and it will take me directly there. Oh, okay. Alrighty. Moving on, let's talk about collaborators. So as you guys know, our collaborators are a way for you guys to invite a separate company to collaborate on a single project, which means they can add photos, view photos, comment back and forth. So with collaborators and checklists, this is a very important part. They need to be a paid collaborator. So that means they would have a pro or premium account in order to view and interact with your checklist. So again, if you're inviting a collaborator to a project, they would need to be a pro or premium user on their own separate account to view and interact with your checklist. So I'm going to show you an example here. I'm going to come down to my roof damage project. Okay, so I have a few collaborators on this project. That's why I switched here. I've got 2 over here. So I'm just going to navigate back to that checklist tab. And this is where it communicates that to you. So CompanyCam is one of my collaborators, and Ryan Pitkin is my other collaborator. Says they can collaborate on a checklist, but these must be on a paid CompanyCam plan in order to interact. So that's a huge bonus if you do have collaborators who have their own CompanyCam account going on that pro or premium. They can work through that checklist for you, just like I showed you, and be on the same page. So if you have any further questions about that, you can drop them in the Q&A, but just wanted to communicate to you guys that that is a possibility. They just need to be a paid pro or premium. Okay, moving on, we're going to really just talk about some templates here, and then we're going to finish with community checklists. So what does template mean? So a template means you can save something and reuse it, which is great because we want to reuse that same inspection checklist or that same sales process. We want to bring it into every single job. This is my standard operating procedure. Templates are available on the premium plan. So using checklists with templates is so great. It's actually one of the most used features within CompanyCam. I've helped onboard a lot of other customers here, especially in the roofing industry, to start using these checklist templates and get everybody on the same page. So if you're a pro user and you're thinking, I want to try out templates, we do offer free trials of the premium. If you guys are already premium users and didn't know about checklist templates, this is going to be for you. This is going to be awesome. So really, to get started here, I'm going to go back to my re-roof. If you have a checklist in a project and you want to save it as a template, what I recommend, again, you can do this a couple different ways, but we're in that checklist tab. Just go ahead and click into that checklist. And then up here in the top 3 dots, you're going to have this that says save list as template. So it's going to be same on mobile, save checklist as template. So I'm going to hit save list here. This is where you can give it a title, and then you can also give it a description. So I'm going to hit create new template. So I've saved this, and now I can bring this into every single job moving forward. So if I were to back out here, I'm under my checklist tab. I can hit create checklist, use existing template. And then I've got quite a few checklists in here. I can go through, here's that one I had just saved. I can click on it here and it will load into your account. So you can do this on both desktop and mobile. Just you put in the hard work to build out that checklist. Let's bring it into every single job moving forward. One other thing that I wanted to point out while I was under those 3 dots is exporting this checklist. I believe I was supposed to talk about that earlier. I'm sorry I missed that. But one of the pros to our checklist is just being able to get it out of CompanyCam. So again, send it to the customer, send it back to somebody at the office. So you saw that here, export to PDF. When you hit that button here, it will ask you if you would like to include photos, capture details. You can even save this to documents if you want, which is really nice. And then just hit export. It will let you know that it will notify you when it's ready. So I've got it here on the mobile side. I can go click on that. And I have my PDF that you can then, text out, email, whatever you would like. Essentially, it exports as a PDF. So then you can save it and send it out. So wanted to cover that quickly, but again, back to our templating here. Templates just means being able to save it and bring it into every single job. So if you're looking at our templates here on the left-hand side, I just navigated here on the desktop. We have this templates tab. So this is really where you can manage all of the templates within CompanyCam. As you can see, you can template a few things. The first one is checklists. You can also template reports and documents and projects. But this is where you can manage all of your checklist templates. So if you need to quickly delete one, or if you want to click into one and view it, maybe you want to make some edits in here, you can do that here right within that template tab. One other thing I'll point out, since we're over here kind of on the navigation bar, we also have a checklist tab. So if you guys, this will be both pro or premium. If you kind of want to see all of the checklists that you have going on out in the field, if you click on this tab and it says checklist feed, these are going to adjust. And as you can see, we have the project name, we have the checklist name, if it's assigned to anybody, and then the progress of the checklist and latest activity. So you can see it has my name that I took a photo within that checklist, which is awesome. You can see I've completed 4 out of 61 tasks. So admins, if you guys are back in the office kind of wanting to see what's going on out in the field and how they're working through their checklists, simply click on that tab and you will have all of that information right here. I'm going to pop back down to our templates. So again, premium users being able to save these and reuse them is everything. One step further, which is even better, is being able to have that checklist come into the project automatically. And so we can do that by creating a project template. So under this tab, I have my checklists, and then this last tab, we have projects. So this is definitely the last step for you guys. I would create the checklist that you need, save them as a template, and then we'll come in and create a project template, which I'm about to show you right now. So I'm on my project tab. I'm going to hit create project template. And then you can give it a title, maybe your general project template, or if you have quite a few different jobs, you can title it however you would like. But then this is where it's going to say, which checklist would you like to bring in to this project template? So I want to bring in my damage inspection one. I'm going to add that in here. And then I'm going to exit back out of here. Something that is important, if you would like the same template to come in every single time, we want to set that as a default. You'll see my 000 general is set as the default template. So that means when I go and create a new job, it's going to pull that one every single time. If we don't set it as a default, you have the ability to pull whichever one you would like. So to set a default, just simply click those three dots and then it will say set as default. Right now it says remove if I would like to remove it. So if this is a little confusing, I'm going to show you what this looks like now when I create a project. So I'm just going to, on my mobile side here, I'm going to hit create project. This is normal for you guys. You can drop that pin wherever. I'm going to hit confirm. I'm going to give it a title. And then right here is where it says project templates. On the desktop side, it says project template right here. So since I set that one as a default, it already pulls it in. So I can go ahead and hit create. If you don't want that one, you have multiple project templates, just simply hit that X button, or you have that over here on the desktop side. And so when we go ahead and create project, let's go to open project. There we go. You'll see those two checklists then pull in. So it really just clears up confusion with the team. You guys are creating projects. The checklists are already pulled in with that project template, and then they can just start working through it. If you guys don't want to set a project template, that's okay. Your guys can easily just hit that plus button and then hit use existing template, and then they can see all of the different checklist templates you have. We just created that for you guys to make it easy. If you want those same checklists to pull in every single time, take out the guesswork for your team, and really just lower any sort of confusion that might be there. So not a problem. Again, you can always just use a checklist template whenever you would like. Okay, any questions so far I can answer? Okay, fantastic. That's great. Last thing I'll end with here is our community checklist. So community checklists are available to our premium users. So if you don't want to start from scratch or you want to get more ideas of what you can use a checklist for, we do have a library of those. So again, they're called community checklists. And where you can find those will be on the desktop side of CompanyCam. You'll click on your user profile picture up here at the top. You'll see community checklists. And then these are our different partners that we have. Again, you can click into these. So let's go down here. Let's go to roofing exterior templates. I have most of these added to my account already. But if you're seeing this for the first time, you do have the ability to subscribe to them. So they will auto add to your account as they add more. Or you can go through and individually add these to your account. If you would like to then go and use this checklist or even view it, just simply go back to one of your projects. So I'm going to go back into my re-roof project. This is exactly where we were before. I'm going to hit on checklists. I'm going to hit create checklist, use existing template, and you'll see these tabs here up at the top. Those are most of our community checklists here. So I had added those to my account so I can click in here. I can quickly view one if I would like. I can preview that template. And if I like that one, I can just go ahead and hit use template and it will build that out. So again, just to recap quickly, click on your user profile, community checklists, and then I just recommend going through kind of reading about what you like, add some to your account. You can always remove them if you want. You don't have to use them, but we just wanted to give you guys a place to start and to also get some ideas going on what you can use this checklist for. Any questions?
Just have someone ask about the difference between checklists and tasks. If you could just
Sure.
broadly.
Yes. Yep. So our tasks, I'm going to show you here. Our tasks really are, when you're on the mobile side here, it's the first thing that pops up. These are just like sort of like one-off things, like maybe a quick reminder. I see it more as like your notepad or a quick little task, where our checklists, especially if you're templating them, is kind of more of like something that's going to be bigger, an operating procedure that's going to be consistent the whole time. So tasks, we can't bring those into another project. It's going to be unique to that individual one. As you see here, I just have a quick note of please do this. And on the left-hand side, I have it here. So no way to template those and bring them into another project. I always recommend my customers to do that as kind of like a quick reminder. I think I've said that a couple times. Please do this, follow up here. And then I leave my checklist for kind of like the bulk work, or like I call it the meat and potatoes, I guess you could say, of the standard thing that I need to do on almost every single project. That is a great question. Last thing I'll say, our tasks are pretty simple. When you hit new task, it asks you if you'd like to title it here. So let's see, like, let's just say call customer. I'm going to hit the create new task and it pops it in there right there. So quite a bit different. You can also hide completed there, but they're also fantastic, and they have a complete different, a different use case. So great question. While we wrap up here again, if you would like more of an in-depth explanation of checklists again, or you're interested in premium and everything it has to offer, outside of our templates and checklist templates especially, we'd be happy to connect you with your customer success manager. You all have a point of contact. We're going to drop an email here when we close out, with that you can email that you would like. It's success@companycam.com. We'll also be sending a follow-up email from your rep, just to see, if you had any follow-up questions. So either one works, but we will be reaching out to you via email there. So we'd be happy to talk to you about this more in depth, and again, go over any other features. So to wrap up here, we've got 1 minute. We have more classes. We're always doing classes, which is great. CompanyCam on mobile, it's going to be September 4th. We have a webinar about a safety plan, which will be September 11th. And then CompanyCam on desktop for admins here, that's going to be on September 18th. So you can register for these at companycam.com/classes. You can also view previous classes at that website. So please check those out. And again, if you do have any questions here, reply to our emails that we send out, or email success@companycam.com. We'll drop it in the chat here, and we'd be happy to talk with you, explain anything further. So we're going to keep the Zoom open for a while here as we answer questions. But again, thanks so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. And we look forward to seeing you again.